Today I want to share with you some secrets. I'm going to tell you how to get superpowers. Because let's be honest, we wouldn't like to perform Jedi mind tricks. We wouldn't like to feel and use magnetic fields and super strength. Well, today's your lucky day because somehow we already have the technology to perform beyond human nature. Just to give you a little bit of background, I've always been a fan of superheroes. I've always wanted to be an X-Man. So I patiently waited, looking around dodgy forums and internet niches to understand what we can do in order to feel and be more than just human. The trend that I've seen over the past 20 years is really interesting because back in the day when I was a kid, all of these was just pure fiction. There was no such thing as a smart implant or smart devices. But slowly, things started to go in the right direction, mainly because of all the technological advancement that we made as human beings. But the access to this kind of technology was always restricted to a few people, mainly researchers. But it's over the past 10 years that actually things started to get really interesting. And researchers and experimentation was really fast. And actually today we have technology that is suitable for everyone. So today I want to tell you some of these secrets to be better, stronger, and faster, what we will be able to do in the nearest future, and some of my concerns around it. The first discovery in the journey to become a superhuman for me started with implants. And there's actually a funny story behind this little chip in here. So over the past 2 years, I spent quite a lot of money calling locksmiths because I locked myself out of my apartment so many times, and I want to believe that I'm not the only one. So I was looking for a way to unlock doors without needing a key. And this chip in here is exactly what I was looking for. It works more or less like a text file. You can store information that readers can interact with. So what it means is that this RFID chip makes you unlock doors, or start your car, or pay only with Bitcoins right now, but just by imposing your hand. So I want to be honest with you, this is nothing really new. When I first discovered this implant, I was really close to buy one and find a way to get it in my hand. But this is not exactly what I'm looking now, because these chips, they are quite dumb. They're not active. I want something more. So I didn't lose my faith. I digged around internet more, and this is what I found. This is what I found. So this is gross. Amazing, don't get me wrong, but this is gross. So this is exactly like a microcomputer implanted in this guy's arm. And he's able to record his body temperature and send it to his smartphone. Cool, hey? A little bit limited, in my opinion, but the idea has already evolved. Now, the same device can track not only body temperature, but blood pressure as well. So this guy is slowly turning himself into a cyborg, and he's able to understand what is going on inside his body with his own devices. And this is amazing for me. I want to be honest with you, and I will never implant this device in my arm. I love the human body, and I think that this device would alter the shape of our bodies in a way that I'm not comfortable with. And I think that I'm not the only one feeling this. But I want you to take a moment to have a look at these. So this is a temporary tattoo that doctors can use to record patients' vital in the comfort of their houses. It works exactly like a computer without substantial difference. So computer use a semiconductor wafer, while this device use some sort of flexible materials that can interact with our bodies. So the doctor, engineer, the genius behind this device said that the first version of it can actually use an energy source to power itself, can record all the patient's information and send this data to the hospital servers for them to get processed and used by doctors. Well, the latest version of this device is not just able to do all of this, but it can perform all the calculation inside the device itself. So it sends a smaller amount of data over the internet. This technology already exists. We're already improving everyone's life. So if I think about these two different devices and the way that we as human beings perceive the two, I started thinking that maybe we are not ready for Tim Cannon's big, gross device, and we will feel more comfortable with something temporary, something that we know will end more or less when we want to. So I looked around the internet in order to find some temporary enhancement that we can use. And what I found is absolutely incredible. So again, a little bit gross, but let me tell you the story about this image. So this is Gabriel Licina, and in this image, he was conducting an experiment where he got some chemical mixture dropped in his eyes, and they get absorbed by his retina, and he had the ability to see objects in low light condition. So imagine being in the bushes without needing a flashlight. On top of this, this technology can be used by soldiers, policemen, drivers. That's really incredible for me. And you will be close to be Nightcrawler, which is one of my favorite superheroes. And I really hope they will catch up on his other superpowers soon. Can't wait for it. This is amazing, but like, if your eyes work, what if they don't? Well, this is the answer. Sorry, next slide. So this a prosthetic, sorry, this is not collaborating, but yeah. There's a prosthetic that gets connected to the visual cortex of your eye, and it can restore sight on blind people. And this technology already exists. The company behind this prosthetic is looking to start clinical tests this year. And they can already see a future application of this sort of prosthetic with, I don't know, like Zoom, recordings, night vision, infrared. I can't wait for this technology to be available for everyone. I will be one of the first ones to adopt it. So when I thought about all of this, I wanted to understand how prosthetics are nowadays, because I really love cyborgs, and I wanted to understand how close we can be to Iron Man, which is one of my favorite superheroes ever. And what I found is incredible because up until now, all these enhancements were just some sort of luxury. It was restricted to a few, but it's interesting to understand how within our lifetime, people that once were considered disabled, they are just leapfrogging us in becoming superheroes, thanks to inventions like these. So the guy that you will see behind me is Hugh Herr, and he lost his leg during a blizzard. And he devoted his entire life in creating the most advanced prosthetic in the world. And the way his prosthetic works is really amazing because there's a microprocessor that constantly senses the joint position and the load applied to the limb. It sends the information to the prosthetic itself that constantly changes its behavior based on the information that it receives. And it does not only perform amazingly, but it makes you walk faster, run faster, carry more weight, and climb more easily. This is incredible, but if you think that this is a little bit too much for the everyday person, I want you to have a look at this. So this image comes from a company called Open Bionics. They give you free access to 3D prosthetic project. It means that if you own or rent a 3D printer, you will be able to build and customize your own prosthetics. So imagine where these can take us. Imagine if more pioneers like the guys that you saw at the beginning of my presentation take this technology and push it to its limit. We really might be able to be close to Iron Man in the comfort of our houses. So I really love all of this, but I can't help myself asking some questions like, I don't know, maybe in the future we will need some sort of firewall or antivirus in our limbs in order not to get hacked. Or like, are we gonna go to the mechanic instead of the doctor in the nearest future? I'm not sure about that, but let me tell you, I can't wait for all of this to be our everyday life. Thank you so much.